A simple and structured 3-step calculation method from one of the best coaches in the entire chess world so that you can find the best move in chess position so much more often. Let's get started. What's up, chess player, and welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster, the place where you can improve every single aspect of your chess game. So I want to share with you this method I have learned from Jakob Aagaard, one of the best coaches in the world, and it consists of 3 simple steps. I mean, if it would be something crazy, I wouldn't want to share it with you because who cares? But it's very simple that you can use it in your very next game and, well, probably and hopefully win your next game with the help of it. So the first step is to find all of the possible candidate moves that seem promising to you. It's very, very important. The second step, even more important, to analyze all of those options, to consider them, evaluate the resulting position. Very, very important. We are going to talk about it later. And the third one, choose the most promising one. So first of all, for this method to be as efficient as possible, pause the video for a second and invest your time into analyzing this position on your own, using your decision-making process, your thought process. Believe me, it's going to be so much more efficient. Once you have done that, write down your results, your variation, do it in the comments. I would really appreciate it because then I understand your thoughts, your ideas, and it would help me to prepare better videos for you. But also you are going to have this accountability that, okay, I have the solution here, I cannot change it because it's written down. Why to move? Find the best continuation. Now, as simple as that might sound, most of the chess players do it the wrong way. They find one opportunity that seems interesting to them, then they try to convince themselves that this one is the right one, and then they make this decision. This is the wrong approach. You should be open-minded. You should first look at all of the possible variations and then compare it, analyze it, calculate the variations, look at your opponent's opportunities, and then make the right decision based on the final evaluation of every variation. Now, let's consider this position. It's white to move. It's once again also from the book from Jakob Aagaard here, which I enjoy going through. Of course, it's a little bit more advanced, but the principles work all the same. It's going to be even simpler for you to apply it to more simpler positions or throughout your games. So, white here is definitely attacking. First of all, I always want to evaluate the position to understand where I'm standing, whether I'm fighting for a win or I'm fighting for a draw. Now, when you play a real game, in most of the cases you understand that, although it's important from time to time still to evaluate the position to be realistic. So, here I have the queen, very active, but I do have one piece less. That's what I notice immediately. My opponent has a knight, whereas I don't have a knight. That's quite a pity. And I only have one bishop, one minor piece against 2. In terms of the pawns, I have here 4 and 3, so 7, and my opponent has 6. So I have one pawn for a piece, which is absolutely not enough in terms of the material advantage. But look at my opponent's pieces. They're all absolutely passive. Maybe this rook is active because it's on the open file here. So yeah, the knight is helping in the defense a lot. Otherwise, I would be able to give a checkmate in one. But all of the pieces are so passive, especially this bishop on c8. For the time being, it's like doesn't matter at all that my opponent has an extra piece, because it's not the quantity of the pieces, it's the quality that matters, the number of active pieces that actually participate in the game. So it's clear for me that I have to use my momentum here. I have to look for promising chances to use this opportunity, whereas my opponent cannot do anything, because otherwise my opponent will be able to consolidate, and then yeah, the extra piece would matter. So remember the first step. With this knowledge of the current position, I can start considering my options. So first, I look for all of the promising candidate moves. First of all, this pawn on f7 is hanging, so I can just grab it. Queen takes f7 is possible. That is definitely the opportunity I have to consider. So you, of course, start with forcing lines. And by the way, I'm happy that Jakob Aagaard confirmed that method that I was sharing with you, checks, captures, and threads. He calls it forcing moves. This is something you should focus on in the beginning. So the only check is queen takes h7, as I already mentioned. Nothing works there. Queen takes f7 is basically the only reasonable capture. Wait, there is actually bishop takes h7, which might make some sense. Of course, bishop a6 is nonsense. The third step is threads. Well, not really. I can create immediate threats, but I definitely can activate one of my pieces here, rook h to g1 or rook d to g1, to fight for this g file, the only open file in the position and the one that really matters. Okay, so queen takes f7, rook d, g1, rook h, g1. I'm not sure if there is a difference. Bishop takes h7. Those are the moves that I see here. Queen h6 is another move, which seemingly is improving the queen's position, but I'm not sure, like it doesn't create any threats whatsoever, at least I cannot see it. Maybe it's like opening up this pawn so that if knight comes to g6, I have h5. Okay, let's say that's also one of the ways. So queen f7, queen h6, rook g1, rook g1, and bishop takes h7. Those are the alternatives I have figured out for myself. I don't really see anything else. Like f5 is way too slow. King moves don't matter. The rooks, they have no way to be improved apart from this g file, and the queen obviously cannot go back. That is too passive. So those are the active moves I'm thinking about, and now let's start considering it. I'm gonna start with queen takes f7, or maybe bishop takes h7. Both of those are captures. I have no checks, no reasonable checks. So bishop takes h7. Okay, well, if my opponent allows me one more move, I'm just gonna go back and that would be a checkmate. So my opponent must take on h7. Now, do I have a follow-up? Well, the queen cannot do anything. Queen takes f7 now doesn't really make any sense, just queen d7, and that's all she wrote. But maybe I can play rook to g1, any of the rooks, I still see no difference. And then now the difference between this idea and rook g1 in the beginning is that no knight g6 is possible. And so bishop takes, knight takes, rook g1, let's say rook h1. What I want to achieve? That's actually not a simple question. Because rook takes g8 is definitely not a move I want to make. Just queen takes and he controls the g file, don't have any follow-up. Rook to g7, well, also not really. Takes, king takes, rook g1, king h8, queen h6, threatening checkmate, queen f8. And then he more or less deals with all of the threats. But I think I know the idea. I play bishop takes h7, knight h7, rook g1, and I want to play queen to h6, and then rook g7. But once again, if I play, first of all, it's black to move, so immediately there, he can play bishop h7, knight h7, rook g1, queen f8, and queen h6 is not possible to begin with. I can take now on g8, but once again, queen takes, rook g1 is not possible. How do I continue the attack? He's about to play queen g6 because he would be more than happy to exchange the queens, and I have no way to improve my rooks, my only left rook. Okay, do I have any alternatives after queen to f8? Rook to g7, he just takes. No, I don't see it. Okay, bishop h7, knight h7. Do I have anything else I can do here? Yeah, apart from rook to g1, not really. The rook g1, maybe rook d to g1, queen to f8, rook g5. Because now if he takes, I can take with this pawn activating my rook. Although I only have two active pieces, my bishop is gone, my rook is gone, and he can just play queen to g8. And basically he covers everything. g6 doesn't make any sense, just queen takes. Otherwise, I don't see, once again, any way to create a new threat. Yeah, for now, I don't like bishop h7. Okay, queen f7, the second capture. As I mentioned before, it's very lucrative for my opponent to play queen d7 because he wants to activate his queen, he wants to exchange the queens, and he wants to, well, get rid of my queen. It's very annoying there. And my queen is hanging and he cannot exchange, so I have to deal with it. Queen takes g8, the only reasonable check. King takes, rook g1, king h8. Oh, maybe I have rook g7, but he can just capture it and he has still an extra piece there. Doesn't give me much. Queen takes f7, queen d7. What do? Just queen f5, queen h5 back. Then I'm kind of threatening f7, maybe not, because just rook g7. Maybe I'm threatening rook to g1 and then f7. Because with the absence of the pawn f7, he can never play knight g6. I'm gonna just grab it thanks to the pin. Okay, that makes sense. So queen f7, queen d7, queen h5 back. My play is pretty slow. Like I want to play rook g1, then I want to create a threat of f7. And finally, that's gonna mean something. But also, like, what does black do? Maybe queen f7, queen d7, queen h5, rook a7. He wants to play queen f7, and first of all, that stops the f7 idea, and secondly, he once again wants to exchange the queens. That seems to be very reasonable. Rook g1, he plays rook f7, and I don't think I'm fast enough. Rook g8, just king takes, second rook to g1, king back to h8. My queen is hanging. I can play queen h6 with an idea of rook g7. By the way, very dangerous, but maybe just... Ah wait, now knight g6 is not possible. Yeah, that's actually not stupid. So queen f7, queen d7, queen h5, rook a7, rook d to g1. Let's say he plays... Wait, knight g6 now is not possible. Let's say he plays queen f7. My idea was queen... rook g1, rook g8 first. Maybe queen h6 first. Knight g6 now is possible. Okay, so I have to play rook g8, king takes, rook g1, and now maybe knight g8. And knight g6, sorry. And I don't see any good follow-up. Or maybe I do. Bishop takes, I still have my bishop. Pawn takes, and rook takes g6. Yeah, that is just a checkmate. That is winning. Okay, so queen takes f7, queen d7, queen h5, rook a7, rook g to g1. I'm threatening just rook takes g8, king takes, rook g1, and rook g7. That feels good enough. Queen f7, I play still rook takes. If he takes with the queen on g8, that is actually important. It just takes with the queen, and then I cannot play rook g1, and I cannot play f7. Yeah, then rook g8 doesn't make any sense. So you see how important it is to look for different options, not only for yourself, by the way, it always applies to both sides. We always forget that we are not playing alone, but actually our opponent also might have different opportunities. Not only king takes g8, but queen takes g8. And then I don't see any good follow-up. Okay, so queen f7 also doesn't seem to be great for now. Queen to h6. I'm not sure what is this threat I'm creating. Probably still rook g1, so let's start with rook g1. Rook d to g1, because this rook might be useful in some variations. I'm threatening now to play queen takes f7, for example. That feels dangerous enough. So he has to rack some. I like for him the idea to play knight g6, because that's blocking basically all of my pieces. How do I continue? Maybe I just play queen h6 and want to play h5. But he has queen f8. Queen f8, and then I don't see anything. Rook g1, knight g6 feels pretty good with queen f8 to follow. And now I start to understand the idea behind the move queen h6 first. Because now after knight g6, I have the move h5. And queen f8, I'm gonna still take the knight, and after queen takes h6, I can play rook takes h6. And then, yeah, I'm just winning. Okay, so that is good. Queen h6. Maybe he just puts the rook on g6 because he has extra material. No, wait, that is not possible. Bishop takes and then queen g7. Okay, so I play queen h6 with an idea to play rook d to g1 next move. That actually feels very strong. I don't see... Like, let's say he plays knight d7 with an idea to play queen f8 anyway. That's not possible. Queen takes h7. Yeah, so I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible, but there are constant problems. This knight cannot escape because it has to protect h7 just to g6, but then I have h5, and queen f8, I just take on g6. I win the knight back, and I still have an overwhelming attack. I actually appreciate so much this method, because if I wouldn't have used that, if I wasn't thinking about all of the candidate moves first, by the way, Jakob Agar doesn't like the move candidates, it feels too Russian for him. He likes the word options or ideas, but no matter how you call it, queen h6 was not on my radar at first. Like, I want to crush, I want to play queen f7, bishop h7, rook g1, to add more pieces, but queen h6 didn't feel like the move you want to make. But now that I understand, okay, it's, by the way, Jakob Agard talks so much about it. You have to focus on what your opponent's idea is. And my opponent's idea here is to play knight to g6, queen to f8, and stabilize the position. Then it's so difficult to create any threats. queen h6 actually stops that idea, and this is why it's so strong. And also it improves the queen because, well, it has this queen g7 additional idea I didn't have before. Once we exchange the rooks, for example, that would be huge. Yeah, I think the right move is queen h6, and I'm ready to now check it with the solution. Before I reveal it to you, I want to say big thank you to the sponsor of this video, Chestnut. This Chestnut Evo board is an amazing tool that I use every day to train my chess and to become better at chess. It has absolutely everything I need, and this screen here, I have the book that I'm learning currently. I have here the second board that I can use as a useful tool, like for all of the sidelines when you are considering analyzing one of the games and then you're going like 20 moves ahead and then you need to go back. It's so tough when you just use the real pieces because you already forgot what the initial position was. But with this second board, you can easily do the moves there. You can even just click on the moves and they will appear here in the book, I mean. And so I have absolutely everything I need to train chess, to unlock my chess potential. Also, you can use it to play online on chess.com, on Lead Chess, to play against chess bots, and so many more useful features, of course, to play against your friends. Now, this is not the only board that Chestnut has at their disposal. They have absolutely everything from the most affordable Chestnut Go up to Chestnut Pro, a big tournament size wooden board, very, very nice looking. And the best part is you can use the Journey to Grandmaster coupon code or link in the description to get a big discount. Now, let me reveal the solution to you. Rook d to g1. Okay, I am absolutely wrong with my solution. That's also happened. That is why we learn. So, rook d to g1, knight g6, and I didn't see how I might continue it. Maybe now I play queen h6, but then queen f8. Do I have any fancy moves? Like if I just exchange the queens, that's nothing. If I play rook takes g6, so that the rook is protecting the queen, I might take with the f-pawn, and then I don't see any follow-up. Okay, so rook d to g1, knight g6. If I just take it, pawn takes. Queen f8 is still coming. Surprisingly enough, I still don't see it. Rook d to g1, knight g6. Maybe all we need to do is just double the rooks. Maybe it's as simple as that. So we play rook g5, let's say rook g4, just to protect this guy, although it doesn't matter because checkmate is coming. So rook g5, I like the move queen to e8, so that g6 knight is protected even more. I play rook g1, and then I have 1, 2, 3 attackers, because the queen has to be here to make sure that this pawn is pinned. He has 1, 2, 3 defenders, so that should be enough. f5 is never productive. Maybe now I play queen h6. Ah, wait. Yeah, now I understand the idea, and this is so beautiful. So rook d to g1, knight g6, I play rook g5. Not only I want to double the rooks and win that knight, or open up the g5, but I just want to play queen takes h7 check, sacrificing the queen, king takes and rook h5 checkmate. I'm curious to know what is wrong with my queen h6 line. I'm not sure about that yet, but okay. So rook h to g1 is wrong because knight g6 and rook g. That's also interesting. Like rook g5, that's pretty good, but not winning. There is the same checkmating idea. Why is it not working? Queen f8. Yeah, queen f8 probably is the move, so that after rook h5, after queen sacrifice, you can block with the queen. Okay, let's see. White does not have played rook d to g1 anymore. Knight g6. So let's see. Rook d to g1, knight g6. And wait, what? Okay, I haven't really, even here, I haven't really found it because I wasn't looking at all of the candidate moves. That puzzle was tough. I mean, if you have solved it, really congratulations, because I completely failed here. Wow, that's crazy. So the right move is queen takes h7, sacrificing the queen. And that, like, normally if you sacrifice the queen, afterwards you should have something so crazy, just checkmating immediately. But here you just played the move h5. Now I understand why it was important to play rook d to g1, because we are threatening to play h take g, and because the knight is pinned, there is absolutely nothing you can do against it. Like, literally zero moves. I mean, I'm so happy, despite the fact that I miserably failed at solving it, I'm so happy to pick this position because, well, I'm showing it to you. And there are no comments afterwards because, yeah, there is nothing you can do. For example, if the rook goes away, it's just a check, king to g8, and personally, I like here the move g7 because then rook h8 is coming with the checkmate. There is no defense. This is so crazy, and even bishop h7 is a checkmate. Okay, but nobody mentions my move, which is queen to h6. It's of course not that strong. I can already understand that because that's not delivering a checkmate. So my initial feeling was actually right, that queen h6 is not active enough. That is the position. Another great thing about Chestnut Evo, I can just switch on the engine now to take a look at my move. Queen h6, let's turn it on. Of course, it's not like super strong, but strong enough for me to understand what's wrong with my move. And actually, this is completely winning for black after queen to b6. It's also, by the way, about this very, very important topic of thinking about your opponent's opportunities. I haven't considered the move queen b6 at all. Like in any single one of my variations, I haven't considered that at all. And that makes so much sense for black to play it because now the g1 move is under control. Absolutely amazing. I was looking at the position, I was thinking about the options, but I was really focused on this part of the board. I was focused on black bringing the queen to f8 or e8, trying to defend. But actually, queen to b6 is a move in a completely different direction, but that solves all of the black's problem. Like I said, queen h6 doesn't create any immediate threats, maybe except for rook g1, but now that rook g1 is stopped, I have absolutely nothing. This position is lost -3 because, well, simply black has an extra piece. Imagine how cool it would be to play chess without ever having opening troubles again. What if I told you I could teach you all openings you will ever need in just 10 days? You get lifetime access to more than 110 pure value video tutorials, almost 100 practical tasks to apply your knowledge immediately into practice, 30 plus bonus videos to dive 10 times deeper, as well as private community where all questions you might ever have are answered daily. Get a $200 limited time discount with the link in the description and forget about all opening pain once and for all. So that was my first try with this method. Of course, the fact that I failed at solving the position doesn't mean that the method is wrong. It's just stupid me who have calculated queen h6 and wasn't thinking properly enough about the opportunities of the opponent. Because if you think about what your opponent can do, you must always consider, first of all, the most active opportunities and also all the promising ideas that your opponent might have. So while I'm gonna try to understand here why I'm so silly, I encourage you to use the method here. The puzzle is very interesting, very useful for you, and I'm gonna share my decision-making process as well because this time, thank God, I have solved it correctly.